friends, it's Esther here on Keeping House, and it is time for us to talk seriously about how to get out of debt. I've given you a variety of tips and ideas of how to cut back on spending, but there's a lot of things that you have to do to actually set up your plan. This is going to be the first of a series of videos that walk you through the process of setting up your plan for actually getting out of debt. I hope you can use some of my previous videos to give you ideas of how to cut back, but first we need to talk about debt. So today we are going to talk about collecting what your debt is and the different methods you can use to pay it off. I'm going to talk about snowball payoff, and I'm going to talk about avalanche payoff, and I'll tell you which one we chose to pay off our debt and why. In a later video, we'll walk through the actual steps of creating a budget, but before you can do that, you have to know what your debt is. So you need to find every debt that you have, and I'm going to give you a list of possible ideas, and you're going to need to find your statements, whether they're electronic or hard copy, because they're going to have all the information you need to set up your plan. If you pay off with avalanche, you're going to pay your highest interest debt first, and then all the way to your lowest interest debt. If you pay off with snowball, you're going to pay your smallest debt first, and then all the way down to your largest debt. My husband and I chose snowball, and I will show you later in this video the difference. With avalanche, you are going to pay a little bit less interest. With snowball, you may pay a little bit more, but it's a very similar amount. With our debt, including all the way through our mortgage, the difference would be something like $5 or something. And so for me, that wasn't a big factor. With snowball, you get to feel the payoff faster. So you're paying off a whole bill, and then another whole bill, and then another whole bill. If you choose your smallest bills first, you'll pay them off more quickly. And what we found is it gave us momentum. That's the idea of snowball. It gave us momentum. So every time we paid off a debt, there was this excitement and renewed hope that we were going to get out of debt, and it forced us to put more toward it. We made bigger cuts to our lifestyle, but it only lasted for a year till we paid off everything except our mortgage. And so that's why we chose snowball. But either one is appropriate. You can use the tool that I'm going to show you to see what the difference in interest would be and see if it's important to you. It'll also show you at what rate you'll pay off different debts, and that can give you some idea of what's going to make more sense for you and your family. There is a power in knowing what your debt is. I know this part of the process can be painful, but let's go through it together. Here are the variety of types of debts you want to include: mortgage, credit cards, vehicles, student loans, medical debt, and personal loans. It's likely you have a variety of these and you don't want to leave anything out. If there's some type of unique debt that you have that I haven't listed here, make sure that you include it too. So you're going to put the type, the name of the company, and then we're going to need to find balance, monthly payments, and interest rate. And you're going to need your statements to find that information. Now that you've found your statements, you simply need to find the name of the company, the monthly payment, the total balance, and the interest. And you'll just go on and do that with all of your accounts that you owe money on. Sometimes the interest amount is on the back of the page or on a second page. In order to figure out your plan, there's a variety of tools you can buy or use or create, but I decided to search Google. I went through a few and decided that I liked Undebit the best. And you just go in and type in the information that you have previously found on all of your debts, add the minimum payments and put it in the total debt payoff budget, and then hit go. Make sure your payoff method is snowball. And what you're going to do here is, for example, our lowest debt amount was $119 a month. When we paid it off, we applied that to our next debt, and so forth. The box here on the left shows what you would pay if you didn't continue to push the next amount forward. The one on the right shows what it would look like if you did push it forward. It's a difference of 6 years and $16,000. With Avalanche, it's the same concept of pushing it forward, just paying off the highest interest first. You're paying it off in the same amount of time, and you're paying the exact same amount of money as you are for the snowball in this case. We knew we were going to be putting an extra $1,000 on our lowest bill, and so I applied this here just to show you what that will look like. More to come on that in my next budgeting video, but man, is it exciting to cross these bills off the list. Okay, there it is. We have figured out what our debt is, what our plan is, and how long it's going to take. Next, we're going to talk about creating a budget. So now we know the debt part, and we had to have that first before we could create a budget. But I'm going to urge you before now in the next budget video to start to figure out where your money's going. You might be surprised at where you're spending it. I hope you have a great day. Let's go get out of debt together.